Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's dafobra here, and wanted to show you a new product I'm going to be installing on my 2006 CBR600F4i. It is a clear alternatives taillight. This is the stock taillight here, obviously. On my F4, I had a 2000 CBR600F4. I had also installed a clear alternatives taillight. Here it is right here. This is the one that was installed on my F4. It had, very easy to install, had two plugs, 3157 style bolt plugs that went right into the factory harnesses. This thing was super bright, and I'll probably put a video here of how it looked on the F4, because I did do a review on that as well. Unlike some of the cheaper ones that you find, some of the eBay ones, or I mean the ones you can find on eBay and some off-brands, that really aren't too visible, but this one is. This taillight was non-integrated, just running lights and stop, bolted right in place of the factory one, and it worked beautifully. Unfortunately, or well, fortunately actually, my F4i came with a Hotbodies undertail, and as I'm going to show you in a little bit, the turn signals on there are not super visible, so I'm going to replace it with this. Now here's the non-integrated, and here's the new integrated one, and what's great about this, it has some additional features over the standard integrated, and I'll show you those as well. Okay, let's take a look at the taillight and stoplight and turn signals that are on my F4i currently. Running lights, brake lights, right directional, left directional. Now these might seem decently bright on camera, but in the daylight, I just feel like, you know, cagers really can't see enough. So I had intended on using that same clear alternatives taillight from my F4 on the F4i, but you know what, I need brighter turn signals, so I went with this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do on your, this is going to fit either 99 to 2000 F4s or 2004 to 2006 F4i. Basically, it's the banana seat model. If you have a one-piece seat, this is your installation. My undertail has the lock underneath. The factory one has it on the back. Regardless, lift and remove. The first thing that's going to have to be removed is the grab bar. Now, this isn't on the F4s. It's only on the F4i. And there are 4 Allen-headed bolts. Simply remove them, and you can lift this off. On each side, you're going to find another smaller Allen-headed bolt holding the side of the tail fairing to the subframe. So you're going to want to loosen one on each of those sides of that. Okay, the rest of the retaining hardware, you have a screw, one screw on each side, 2 screws total on top that are bolting the tail fairing to the subframe, and then underneath here, you're going to have one plastic trim screw that goes to a little, plastic expanding piece on each side on the bottom. And after that, you can slip the tail fairing right off. Okay, I just test fitted the light itself. I didn't hook up the turn signals, but this should give you an idea of how it works. Turn it on, and when I hit the brakes, that should get some attention. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is figure out the wiring for both directionals. Right now I have the left directional. The power is going to be the orange, and the right directional, the power is going to be the blue. Now those are the wires that you're going to splice in. Now, Motovlog supplies quick splices, but I'd much rather prefer to use these. I like these a lot better. You fold around, and then once it crimps in, this clicks right over. It makes a really secure fit. And I'm not saying that the ones that MotoLame gives you are not good. I'm just more comfortable with these, so that's what I'm going to use. So let's splice them in. Perfect. All right, so let's plug everything in. We have our standard taillight harness, and as you see, I blocked off the other one just in case anything gets stuck in it. Let's see how that looks. All right, so let's test this out. Running lights, brake lights, left directional, right directional. Everything seems to be working perfectly. Kind of. Because of the decreased demand, or current demand on an LED, the stock flasher is making everything go really, really fast. Now, I also have LED back here and LED flush mounts. What they give you at MotoLame or Clear Alternatives are these. These are resistors that are designed to take a load and load down the system so it returns to the stock rate, but we're not going to use that. We're going to do something much better than that. So let's put the tail back together. Stock taillight in an F4 or an F4i is actually bolted to the tailpiece with these L brackets right here. If you loosen them, you can pop that right out. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so here's the Clear Alternatives taillight fitted into the stock tail. Wiring is ready to go on, so let's slip this baby on. All right, here we go. Okay, once you get it part of the way on, you might want to start connecting some connections. And remember, the taillight itself can plug in two ways. You want to make sure you have it plugged in correctly. Okay, let's see how that looks now. All right, well, it's working. Flasher is located right below here. If you remove the windscreen, you can go up from the bottom and pick it up.
Alright, so with the custom LED flasher installed, let's see how the flash rate is now.
Brakes. Right directional.